Brain tumors are abnormal growths within the cranial cavity that disrupt normal neurological function through direct tissue invasion, compression, edema, and increased intracranial pressure. Tumors may be benign or malignant, but both can become life-threatening because the skull is a fixed space. This lecture focuses on the pathophysiology, clinical manifestations, diagnostics, medical management, surgical interventions, and nursing priorities associated with brain tumors. Key nursing priorities include neurological assessment, ICP management, seizure prevention, airway protection, medication surveillance, patient safety, and family education. Nursing management of brain tumors centers on three major responsibilities: clinical vigilance, emotional support, and active education. Clinical vigilance includes frequent neurological assessments, monitoring for signs of increased intracranial pressure, seizure surveillance, and medication monitoring. Emotional support is critical because patients and caregivers often experience severe anxiety, fear, cognitive changes, and uncertainty regarding prognosis. Active education prepares patients and families for surgery, rehabilitation, medication regimens, home safety, and recognition of neurological deterioration. Nursing care directly impacts patient stability, complication prevention, and long-term quality of life. Brain tumors are classified as either primary or secondary tumors. Primary tumors originate directly within the brain tissue or surrounding structures. Examples include gliomas, meningiomas, pituitary adenomas, and acoustic neuromas. Secondary tumors, also called metastatic tumors, spread to the brain from cancers located elsewhere in the body. The most common primary sources are lung cancer, breast cancer, melanoma, kidney cancer, and gastrointestinal cancers. Metastatic brain tumors are more common than primary brain tumors overall. Distinguishing primary from metastatic disease guides treatment planning, prognosis, and overall management. The skull is a fixed, closed compartment, so any expanding brain tumor increases pressure within a limited space. First, the tumor enlarges and occupies space inside the cranial vault. Next, surrounding brain tissue, cranial nerves, and vascular structures become compressed. As compression worsens, normal blood flow and cellular function become impaired. Some tumors, especially pituitary tumors, may also disrupt endocrine and hormonal regulation. The final result is increased intracranial pressure, or ICP, which can lead to neurological deterioration, brain herniation, and death if untreated. This is why early recognition of ICP symptoms is a major nursing priority. Primary brain tumors are categorized by the tissue or structure from which they originate. Intracerebral tumors include gliomas, oligodendrogliomas, and ependymomas. Glioblastoma multiforme, or GBM, is the most aggressive grade 4 glioma. Tumors arising from supporting structures include meningiomas, vestibular schwannomas, also called acoustic neuromas, and pituitary adenomas. Developmental tumors include dermoid tumors, epidermoid tumors, teratomas, and angiomas. Different tumor types vary in growth rate, malignancy, symptoms, prognosis, and treatment approach. Tumor location is often just as important as tumor type, because location determines the neurological deficits that develop. Increased intracranial pressure produces several classic neurological findings. Headaches are commonly worse in the morning and may worsen with coughing, bending, or movement. Nausea and projectile vomiting occur due to pressure on the vomiting centers of the brain. Visual disturbances may include papilledema, diplopia, blurred vision, or visual field loss. Seizures may occur as focal seizures or generalized seizures depending on tumor location. As ICP continues to rise, patients may also develop altered mental status, decreased level of consciousness, pupillary changes, and eventually signs of brain herniation. Recognizing these symptoms early is critical for preventing rapid neurological decline. The primary treatment goal is maximal tumor removal while preserving neurological function. Craniotomy is the standard surgical approach for accessible tumors and allows direct tumor resection. Pituitary tumors are often removed through a transsphenoidal approach using endonasal access. Radiation therapy may be used after surgery for inoperable tumors or for recurrent disease. External beam radiation delivers targeted radiation to the tumor region. Stereotactic radiosurgery, including gamma knife therapy, delivers highly focused radiation while minimizing damage to surrounding tissue. Brachytherapy places internal radiation sources directly near the tumor bed. Treatment selection depends on tumor type, location, grade, patient condition, and expected neurological outcomes. Chemotherapy for brain tumors commonly includes temozolomide because it crosses the blood-brain barrier effectively. Temozolomide may be used alone or combined with radiation therapy, especially in high-grade gliomas. Some aggressive treatment regimens may require autologous bone marrow support due to marrow suppression. Tumor treating fields are wearable scalp devices that generate electrical fields to disrupt tumor cell mitosis during cellular division. Pharmacologic management also targets secondary complications. Corticosteroids such as dexamethasone reduce peritumoral edema and improve neurological symptoms. Osmotic diuretics, including mannitol or hypertonic saline, are used to rapidly reduce elevated intracranial pressure. Anticonvulsants such as levetiracetam or phenytoin are administered for seizure prevention or active seizure management. Nursing management requires continuous neurological assessment and early recognition of deterioration. Neurological tracking includes monitoring level of consciousness, cognition, pupillary response, motor function, and vital sign trends. Changes in neurostatus may indicate worsening edema, hemorrhage, hydrocephalus, or increasing intracranial pressure. Pain and ICP management focus on aggressive treatment of severe headaches, and rapid identification of escalating ICP. Nurses must monitor for signs such as worsening lethargy, vomiting, pupillary changes, bradycardia, hypertension, or respiratory changes. Medication surveillance is critical because therapies such as corticosteroids can produce serious complications, including hyperglycemia, infection risk, muscle wasting, and immunosuppression. Frequent reassessment is essential because neurological decline may occur rapidly. Seizure precautions should be implemented for all brain tumor patients, even without a prior seizure history. Interventions include padded side rails, suction equipment availability, and close neurological monitoring. Airway and swallowing assessment are critical because neurological impairment increases aspiration risk. Patients may require formal swallow evaluations and aspiration precautions before oral intake. Cognitive support includes orientation aids such as clocks, calendars, family photos, and consistent reorientation to reduce confusion and delirium. Early collaboration with physical therapy and occupational therapy helps preserve mobility, reduce deconditioning, and maintain functional independence. The nursing goal is prevention of secondary injury while maximizing safety and neurological function. Brain tumor care extends beyond hospitalization and requires ongoing caregiver involvement and education. Nurses should directly address caregiver stress, anxiety, and emotional fatigue while connecting families with support resources and community services. Families must understand warning signs that require immediate medical attention, including worsening headaches, seizures, confusion, neurological decline, vomiting, or signs of elevated intracranial pressure. Education should include medication schedules, steroid management, anticonvulsant adherence, and postoperative expectations. Caregivers also need preparation for long-term functional changes, rehabilitation needs, cognitive deficits, and adjustment to a new neurological baseline after surgery or treatment. Brain tumors create multiple overlapping threats that require coordinated medical and nursing management. Edema and elevated intracranial pressure are treated medically with corticosteroids, such as dexamethasone, and osmotic diuretics, such as mannitol. Nursing priorities include monitoring neurological status, headache severity, hemodynamics, glucose levels, and signs of worsening ICP. Cortical electrical instability increases seizure risk and is treated with anticonvulsants such as levetiracetam or phenytoin. Nursing interventions include seizure precautions, padded side rails, safety education, and close neurological observation. Functional and cognitive decline may require surgical resection, radiation therapy, rehabilitation services, and supportive therapies. Nursing care focuses on swallow evaluations, orientation support, baseline reassessment, and collaboration with physical and occupational therapy to preserve function and patient safety. The major threat in brain tumors is increased intracranial pressure. Because the skull is a fixed space, expanding tumor mass, edema, or hemorrhage can rapidly cause neurological deterioration and herniation. Management of ICP is always a primary priority. Tumor location determines clinical presentation. Frontal lobe tumors may cause personality and motor changes. Temporal lobe tumors commonly produce seizures. Occipital tumors affect vision. And cerebellar tumors impair coordination and balance. Accurate neurological assessment depends on understanding regional brain function. Nursing care remains central throughout the entire disease process. Continuous neurological monitoring, seizure precautions, medication surveillance, aspiration prevention, patient education, and caregiver support directly impact patient outcomes, safety, and quality of life. The major nursing priority in brain tumor patients is early recognition of increased intracranial pressure and neurological deterioration. Frequent neuroassessments are essential and should focus on level of consciousness, pupils, motor strength, speech, cognition, and seizure activity. Tumor location determines the patient's neurological deficits and functional changes. Seizure precautions, aspiration precautions, and patient safety measures should be implemented routinely. Dexamethasone is commonly used to reduce cerebral edema, while mannitol or hypertonic saline may be used for acute ICP management. Nurses must closely monitor for medication complications, worsening neurostatus, and signs of herniation. Family education, rehabilitation support, and continuous reassessment remain central to long-term outcomes and patient safety.